All right. We made it. Welcome. Welcome again. Welcome. How many times have we said welcome, honey? Not to each other. That barely happens. But anyway, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Mr. Poseidon hour of happiness, fun, magic, and never learn to be a better fisherman on my channel. Remember, I am the leader of the Googans, my friends, and if you don't like it, all right, that's enough of that. I got some of the best here, especially today's guests. Guys, you're going to love this. You guys know what's coming. Got Orlando on today, NORCALKAT. Going to learn a lot of things today. Not only how to make a lure, mind your business, but a lot of good knowledge today. Here we go. So I want to say to Bill Jacob, Bill, that was a wonderful show. You set it up beautifully. Everything. Your booth, I thought, was just grand, man. The Montauk Surfcasters Association booth was magic, man. Some of the best sweatshirts. I bought one there, but, you know, tonight, what I had to wear tonight, right? Let's get that view on the side. I want to show everybody, right? Watch this, guys. Look at this. This is where the magic begins. There's Orlando. Everybody sees you, Orlando.
Up in the corner. Hey.
Yeah. So we'll make our introduction right now. Honey, you want to do it? You can do it now.
Very famous.
Yes, the very famous. Go ahead.
Custom lure maker.
Very talented.
Super talented.
Artistic.
Ever popular. Orlando NorCalKat.
Yeah, boy. How you doing, Orlando?
What's up, man?
Everything is beautiful, brother. The lights are out here, but it's a beautiful thing. We love it when the lights are out. Right, honey? Well, I do, but I don't know about her. But anyway.
The lights are out?
Yeah, lights out.
Okay.
All right, so anyway, let's say hello to Orlando. Orlando, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Great, man. Everything is good. We had the show this weekend, as you know. Bill Jacobs set up something really great over there. There was a line from when the door opened straight to Corvy's Lures over there. This guy sold out in about an hour. And the show just kept going. Everybody had a good time. Lots of great lure makers there. Swag. We had Zinger baits there. 401 plugs. There were tons of lure makers. I can't remember everybody. I can't remember my first name. But anyway. Yeah, it was a good time, Orlando. You know, lots of great giveaways. I mean, Bill Jacob set it up very nice. Everybody who was there enjoyed the show. And if you didn't come, you suck. Anyway, that's right. Because that was a good show. You can't miss those shows. Come on, guys. There's so many people out there. Thank you for that comment I got. That was wonderful. I love that. You know who you are. Anyway, let's get back to my wife for a second, Orlando. Honey, how are you? I didn't say hello. I'm sorry.
Hi. Oh, my goodness. It's just really exciting because I see a lot of the members have joined. They're
Thank you.
highlighted as
Yes.
members. So they really stand out nicely.
Thank you for
Wormway
that. Yeah.
was the first one on the chat.
Really?
We have,
Wormway.
of course, BX Surfcaster.
Yeah, BX Surfcaster helped us out at the show.
Yes.
He was one of my little elves over there. Thank you for that, Mr. Bronx Surfcaster. Helped us out at the booth. Really good.
We have James Flynn joined. Brooklyn Fishers joined. Rick Hernandez.
Rick Hernandez, another gentleman,
Welcome.
and his wonderful wife there, Beth.
Yes.
They will
thank
both
you
help
so
us at the
much,
booth.
Beth.
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you.
Look
Thank you.
at these members we got. And we have, what else do we have?
And that's it for now. And you'll say hello to everybody later. I want to get back to Mr. NorCalKat now, Mr. Orlando. All right, Orlando. So let me start, Orlando. I have quite a few questions I couldn't wait to ask you. And number one is your new logo. And I just showed you guys. Check it out right here. You can see it right here on the side. You have two new little logos. Beautiful stuff. One is on my mic. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's right there. Let me take it off. So tell me a little bit about this stuff, the artistry, what went down, and the change, which is a little change from your other stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, thank you, Mr. P and Mrs. P, for inviting me to your show once again. What's up to the spoof crew? I see those guys in the chat and loyals right there. That's very cool with the membership thing you got going on. I have
Yes.
to join up on that. That's very cool. I like that.
Thank you.
But to answer your question, Mad Lure Works, I recently decided to make a change on what I'm going to be making going forward when it comes to lures. And I didn't want to be one dimensional. By one dimensional, your traditional plug, that's out there, your metal lips, your pencil poppers, and your spooks or your spoofs, however you want to call them.
Yeah, buddy.
Um,
Yeah, buddy. You know.
I want to kind of diversify myself a little bit because, you know, I follow a lot of different fisheries, different techniques when it comes to fishing. Being from California, it's a big community out here with the swim bait community. Swim baits could be your one-piece glides, your two-piece glides, and your soft plastics and all that stuff. It's a huge community. People don't realize how big it is, but a lot of it is based out of California for over 20 years. And it's spread across the nation like crazy, like wildfire. There's big communities, Swim Bait Underground, Swim Bait Universe, big communities. And so I've been a part of that. I've been fishing swim baits for 20 plus years. So because just being from California, you can't avoid it. So I started to like seeing how I could diversify myself and get into that for stripers, because a lot of the swim bait stuff is made primarily for largemouth bass. That's what you're going to find out there. But as a world record largemouth bass is what, 23 pounds, I think, if you're able to get one. That's for a striper world. I mean, that's it's an impressive fish, 23 pounds.
Absolutely.
But they're going 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe even 60s, right?
Yes.
So when I make lures, I always have that in mind of having the right hardware and hooks and all the materials to handle a big striper. That's why little over a year ago I switched out from using 4x hooks from BMC to all my lures now come with 6x hooks.
Beautiful.
I made that standard. Reason is I feel that I wanted better hardware. It cost me double the money to have that, but I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? I think when you put better product in your lures, you're gonna have less disappointments. And that's what I wanted to avoid for myself and other anglers out there. I wanted them to have the best hardware on there. I mean, there's always going to be better. You could go out there and put BKK hooks on there or
Sure.
whatever is your favorite you want to run with, but you could do that on your own dime. I think as a builder, I wanted to do it the best way possible for myself and also keep it within reason where I could afford it.
Right.
So the Mad Lure Works, like I said, I want to diversify myself because I'm in the process right now to switch a lot of my current line of lures and I'm going to be upgrading a lot of them. I've been testing a lot of new materials, a lot of new products, new processes, new paints, new primers, new clears. I've been testing all year so many different products and materials and try and find the ones that I like best and they work with the product as well. And it's not an easy task because everything has to work together. Because if not, you're going to have reactions. It's a tough task to go with the all new product or try new stuff, and it's costly as well. So that's what I've been working on. And my goal going into 2024 and even into 2025 is to combine that whole swim bait world and that whole plug world into one and make it mine. So, a lot of stuff is going to be changing on my current line, and I'm going to be adding a lot of new stuff to my line.
That's awesome.
So that's why I went with the Mad Lure Works. The name behind it is, I feel like a mad scientist sometimes because I'm dealing with all these different materials and mixing and adding and it's been mad crazy.
I wanna I
I
wanna I
tell you
wanna
that.
add that. I wanna add something to that, Orlando. When Orlando tells you guys that he feels like a mad scientist, you don't know what it's like to call him, and then he's in the middle of his mad scientistry, and you understand that what he's telling you is a fact. The guy works very hard. A lot of times I call him, he's right in the middle. I hear machines in the back. He goes, dude, I'm got my mask and blah, 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 and I got to call you back, blah, blah, blah. He was very busy, especially, I think it's been over just about a year now you're closing in on consistent work. I mean, I know you took a little break for a little while. That was around my challenge of last year. And then you just went on a run that not even mad scientists do. But I'm just here to let everybody know that he's not kidding. It's not just, grabbing a paintbrush and painting one lure and calling yourself a plug builder. That's not a plug builder. That's a guy who has a hobby. This is not his hobby. It's his love. It's his baby. It's his passion. And he works very hard at it. That's what I want to say as far as giving you guys information. Let's go back to Orlando. And Orlando, the new name, I love it. Mad Lure Works. I love the lure. I'm looking at it right now, guys. That's it. That's another one of the decals he has. If you want to buy these, you order them to him. These are top-notch stickers, really nice and glossy. A good quality sticker for sure, 100%. So continuing on that, I know your past stuff has been just freaking amazing. I've gotten plenty of your plugs over the years, and I thought I lost one. It's back in my baby, back in my arsenal. Thank you for the gentleman who put it back. But anyway, I'm so happy I have it again. But your, I would say one of your most popular items, the Demon Daughter, and it's still selling. That's just a fantastic lure. And it didn't just sell because it's looks, Orlando. It sold because a guy had one, and the other guy said, "Would you catch it on NORCALKAT?" And he's like, "What's that?" Then they do their research, and they buy one, and they catch a fish. And I even can say, honestly, my personal best on the NORCALKAT Demon Daughter was a 25-pounder. I was with Gelso. It was 2 days before last year's challenge. We were in Demo Point. Gelso did get a 39-pounder. Sorry to say, not in a Demon Daughter. But he did ask me, "What did you get that on?" And I said, Demon. Goes, "Oh, I got that too." So I know he has his product also. So thank you for that, Orlando. I've had some fun times, and I still have that as one of my main arsenal in my bag.
No, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to constantly evolve and make my own stuff better. Just last week, I just learned two new processes and with product, and I was like, that's what I love about lure making,
Sure.
because there's so much room to improve and be better and better and better. I'm constantly evolving and like learning new things, and I'm just like, man, I wish I'd have known this 2 years ago, you know. But that's what keeps me excited. That's what keeps me wanting to make new things and challenging myself. Am I gonna hit a home run 100% of the time? No, that's okay, man. I'm okay with failures and trying this and trying that, but you're not gonna know till you try, and it's being uncomfortable trying that stuff. That's where you're going to have growth.
Right.
I can be comfortable and make the same 15 lures all the time and be selling and selling. That's fine, but that does I'll get monotonous. I'll get bored. I have to constantly challenge myself to want to learn new things and new processes and make things better. It's not in me to be just stagnant and be like, okay, I'm good with that. I'm always, even if it catches hundreds of fish, I'm always looking at, is there a way I can make that better?
Right.
As I'm learning new things, as I'm learning new products, as I'm developing my skills and my craft, I'm always looking back at what I have and say, is there a way I can make that better, knowing what I know now? Maybe 2 years ago, I would have said, nah, that's the best I can make. But now 2 years later, I could say, I think I can improve that a little bit better.
And I
And that's what I
know,
always strive to do.
yeah, I know, Orlando, that you work very closely with Mike Fixter, a legend out there on the West Coast. A lot of guys won't know him by name here, but a lot of the legends here know Mike Fixter is. I know you fished with him. I know he helped you in your lure making years, in your lure making career, and I know that he didn't just teach you in 6 months and you were gone. It took a long, long time working with Mike Fixter. Can you tell us a little bit about that past for the people here that don't know?
Yeah, I was one of Mike's basically fishing partners for many years when I lived in San Jose, which I was only about half an hour away from him. There's times we would fish 5, 6 times, a week, just go surf fishing for stripers. Every night, every morning, or whatever we could find the opportunity wherever the conditions. Sometimes we would drive an hour or even 2 hours away from where we were to fish. In the beginning stages, I mainly focused on just learning from Mike because there's no replacement for experience. He has
Right.
50 plus years of being a surf caster, a plug builder, and all that knowledge. So I just wanted to soak it in from Mike, and learn as much as I can, and not congest my mind with other things. So I just wanted to soak in what he knew, and kind of develop my own style when it came to fishing and approaches. And I was always doing research. I've always been a guy that I like to look at how people fish for largemouth bass, and how they fish for them in Japan is way
Right.
different how they fish for them in the United States. You know, one of my goals is to go to Japan, hopefully in the next few years, because I have a lot of friends that have gone, and they say they have fishing tackle stores in Japan
Wow.
that have so much fishing tackle that they're specific to every technique and whatnot. They're
Wow.
like 2 times as big as a Walmart.
Oh, man. Maybe I just might
So
move to Japan after all. But anyway.
so there, I always look at what they're trying and what they're developing, and see if I could incorporate that into what I do or the techniques I like to approach and fish and whatnot. I don't like to be like one dimensional.
Right.
That's just not in me. And it's helped me in my fishing. It's helped me be successful. It's helped me figure out sometimes, right now where I fish, it's a very hard fishery. It's not easy. We don't have those big schools of fish. It's not like you're fishing the Raritan Bay
Right.
where you get lucky. You could get, multiple 20, 30, 40, maybe even a 50 pounder. We don't have that here. So
Yeah.
we have high pressure, low volume of population of fishes. So you have to kind of hone in your technique. So if you're not presenting the right presentation at times, it's just not going to work. You know what I mean? And you may think that it doesn't matter. I could just catch a fish on 4 or 5 lures. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't work here. Like you could try throwing a needlefish out here. Good luck, man. I'm telling
Right.
you, there's certain stuff that work in certain areas, and I have a good network of fishermen that are phenomenal fishers. I have guys on the East Coast, they're all throughout the East Coast that are
Right.
striper fishermen, give me great feedback.
Yeah.
And I rely on those guys. I got guys in Tennessee. I got guys in Texas, Nevada, of course here in California, all striped bass fishermen. And they all fish different. They all have different issues. They have different waterways, different water clarities.
Techniques.
They all fish different. So I always try
Yeah.
to, they have different techniques. So I always try to figure out what works best for them and see if I can make a lure that'll work for them, or
Right.
say, hey, give this a try, and that's where I'm going with Mad Lure Works, is to make a striped bass lure that will work for a striped bass all across the United States.
Nice.
And
Nice.
some will work in some areas and some will work and not in another
Very,
area.
very
But
well
it's up
said.
to
Very
Go
well
ahead.
said. No, I said very well said. That's
Yeah.
true. Some,
So-
some things work there, some things work here. It's just like here. It might work in that lake, but in this lake, you throw a banana out and you're catching a 60-pounder. You don't know, but
Yeah.
you do know, and that's why you're trying to make that law that you can use just about anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
Fishing
You know,
the Atlantic is
striped
saying
bass
everything
are
works
all
in the
across the United
Raritan.
States. They're,
I'm sorry.
sorry,
Go ahead.
what was
Go
that?
ahead. She's asking Go ahead.
No, it was just Fishing the Atlantic just commented everything works in Raritan when they're blitzing.
Okay.
Not always. Not
Ah.
always. Because I'll give you an example. So I have a good friend of mine, the Raritan. And for about 45 minutes, they were throwing every single kind of plug at that big mass of fish. Nothing was working. They were throwing trollers, topwater, spooks, needlefish. I mean, just about everything. Nothing would work. Guess what would work only? Live bait.
That's
the only thing
beautiful-
they were biting. There's times that is the only thing.
Yes.
And you have to realize, yeah, I'm spinning my wheels. They are so focused on that bait that if it doesn't have the right movement or like a live bait does, you weren't getting fish.
And you
know?
sound like Billy the Greek right now because he just answered that on the show where he was on the seminar that he gave. He mentioned what you're talking about. Sometimes they're just biting on live bait, period.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, you know, if you don't show them live bait, then you know you're not getting fish. You know, and there's times that it's just crazy that no matter what you could throw top water, subsurface, or whatever, they're on it. And take advantage of those times. I mean, you guys have a great fishery there, a great opportunity to land some nice fish. It's been crazy. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the freaking beaches, and it's crazy.
Yes.
But it is what it is. I mean, there's ways you could get away though. You don't have to fish the big crowds and all that stuff. But it is what it is. Be happy that you have that, because I'm telling you what, you want to learn a hard fishing for stripers,
I know what you're going to say.
I recommend you come here and try here.
Right.
You're going to be in shock on how hard it is.
And if you go with Orlando and you catch a 40-pounder next to him, he's probably going to steal the fish, take the pictures, and you're going to end up floating dead down the river. Well, I believe you, Orlando. I know how hard you work, but I'm going to say, Orlando, you do make it look easy, my friend. I see all your posts, and I see all the pictures. I know you work hard. I don't want to go overboard. And I know you're talking the truth, but you make it look easy, my friend.
It's always a challenge to me to learn what is it that that's working. Like last few times I went out fishing the river by my house, and I had every single time I had like a 30 or 40-pound fish follow my lure all the way to the boat, just pacing it, not committing. And I was just like, I'm just like, it got frustrating because to have a 30 or 40-pound class fish, know that it's in the area and you're not catching it, it's frustrating because sometimes that's all you get is one chance, one strike all day. They're catching multiple fish, big fish, is unheard of out here. If you get one strike of a nice big fish and you land it, that's a pretty good accomplishment out here. So it's tough. So it's frustrating for me. So I had to figure out what different approaches. What do I need to do? Why wasn't that fish committing? Why, could I have changed my approach, my retrieve? Why was that fish just tailing my fish? It literally was like 2 inches away from the tail of my bait, and just pacing it. And why was it not committing? Maybe I should have tried a different approach. And then I started trying different themes, different lures and whatnot. And then I started connecting. And it's like a math equation. You're trying to figure out what's going to get them to strike. And when you're in a high pressure area, it can be tough, So yeah. Like I recently I started getting my daughter into fishing. She approached me about a month ago.
I saw the post
saying that yeah, I'm excited about that because I never pushed fishing on her. I took her fishing.
That's awesome.
But there's a difference from going fishing and catching and having a good time to actually want to learn to fish
Right.
coming from your kid. There's a difference. You can take your kid out on, take them and go catch them, have them catch fish. But when she came at me, she knows how passionate I am about fishing. When she came at me and she says, I want to learn what you know and why and when and how. To me, that was a blessing, man. Because I never pushed my fishing strategies and how I fished on my daughter, because that's a quick way to get them to shut down and not be interested.
Yeah, right.
But her coming to me on her own will to want to learn that, I was so excited about that. So that's what we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Last week I got her, she connected with the striper, actually 3 stripers. I was excited about that because it was tough fishing. I mean, we were throwing everything out there. We were trying I was showing her different techniques and whatnot, and the fish were just not committing. And I was fishing a really shallow area, and I saw a small, like 5-inch smelt just swimming the surface, just kind of like cruising on the surface. And I was just like, if that's what's out here, what approach could I do to kind of mimic that? And immediately what I did is I went in my tackle bag, I pulled out one of Ledge Lord bucktails. He tied me a 1/2 ounce smelt pattern bucktail. And I put it on there, and I told him specifically I wanted the 1/2 ounce because I didn't want anything heavy, but I wanted just enough to get distance. And he tied it in a beautiful smelt pattern. That kid does great work, man. I have him he tied me a bunch of bucktails. I love that kid. Yeah. So anyways, I casted it out, and in my mind, I was like, let me strip this bucktail like if I was stripping a fly with the fly reel. So I would reel it in just real slow, and then every like 2-3 seconds, give it quick 2-3 quick turns on the reel. Sure. And then real slow, then 2-3 quick turns on the reel. And what it would do is the way he tied that bucktail would make the hair and the feathers flare. And immediately, boom, a fish came and blew up on it. And I was like, okay, that is what's working right now. Just that real finesse kind of approach. I immediately took it off, put it on my daughter's rod, and I said, make a cast out there. And I told her exactly what to do, and she started connecting, dude. And that made my day, man. Freaking, because it was tough fishing, but I was more excited about my daughter connecting, and I explained to her the technique and the approach. And she's, so she saw, like, it just opened her eyes, and she saw, like, okay, there's more to this than just, casting and retrieving, So she's excited about fishing, man. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, as long as she's into it. So is teaching her everything I know, and hopefully down the road I can learn something from her.
I want to say that, she also saw the picture my wife
that was
said.
so sweet.
And I want to tell you, Orlando, wait. Seems that you're not only a master in the lure making section, you're a master daddy too, aren't you, brother? I see it, man. And you know what makes me happy? You just spent 5 minutes of my show talking about your daughter, but that is a lot on my show every single time. Let's hear it for the dad today. Woo. That's right. Orlando, the dad. Yeah, Orlando, no, I appreciate that. And also, just teaching everybody here, he's got heart. You hear it when he speaks. Everything is in detail. He sees it. It's the truth. Trust me. Orlando, I want to get on to the section of the show that everybody's waiting for, Orlando. They love you, Orlando. Listen to them. Listen, Orlando. Oh, man, this is so cool. All right, so, Orlando, I know that you, like you said, you are the mad scientist. You've decided to move over a little bit. Not move over, but just add to the arsenal. And you started making some plastics. And when I say plastics, guys, it goes a level above plastic. And I know nothing about that. And that's why I'm going to have Orlando here explain it to you. When you're ready, Orlando, you let me know which silly we're going to talk about, and I'll put it up on the camera so everybody can see, my brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I'll tell you the history on how I got into deciding to make soft swim baits. A good friend of mine, Wheeler, makes phenomenal soft plastics. If you guys are not following him, I would suggest you follow him now, Wheeler Lures. I believe he might be in the chat. If anybody has any questions or anything, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to answer some stuff or add to it.
Thank you to Mr. Wheeler, live from Mr. Poseidon. Thanks for coming to the show, and thanks for rocking your buddy, Orlando NorCalKat. Don't forget it, folks. Go ahead, Orlando. Take over.
So me and him are really good friends. I've been using his soft plastics for many years now, and they're a high confidence bait. He makes such a phenomenal soft plastic bait. So many different styles. The guy is very fishy. I fished with him in the East Coast plenty of times, and I've stayed at his place. I mean, he's a very good friend of mine. And I'm a high believer in the guy knows soft plastics. The guy is passionate about them. And who better for me to pick somebody's brain than Wheeler? The guy's a good friend, good fisherman. He knows, everything about, how the fluid dynamics work on swim baits. So we're constantly talking. I don't think there's a day that we don't talk. We talk almost every day.
Yeah, nice.
Sharing ideas or sharing, our experiences or just even personal stuff. So I'm happy to say that I was able to talk to Wheeler, and he was showing a new design on a swim bait that he wanted to come out with. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude. I saw him because he made it out of plastisol, and I saw the swim on it, and I was like, dude, we need to do a collaboration. I said, I know how I can make that bait a little bit better, but using your design and something different. And then so we talked, and we talked for hours about ideas and whatnot. And we didn't just want to come out with a bait just like everybody else's. We wanted something that was a little bit more different out there. One of my biggest gripes when it comes to soft plastics is, one, they tear. Mm-hmm. They don't last that long. You know what I mean? Once they tear, you're constantly trying to repair them. If you're fishing at night, that could be a headache. Or can even end up fishing stressing if you can't fix it no more. And if that's the only bait you have that's working, tough luck. You're done fishing. So, people try gluing, adding zip ties, all kinds of stuff to prevent that stuff, right? So I was like, there has to be a way that you can make a bait that you don't have to do all that. So I started doing research, and in the largemouth bass world, there's a couple guys that make silicone baits. Burrito Baits is one, very popular guy. He makes great silicone swim baits, but they're mainly built for largemouth bass. The hooks are really light. That they're not.
Orlando, I have to stop you to explain to everybody, when you say silicone baits, a lot of people thinking, all right, he's talking about all the lures. Well, lures are not made of silicone. Please explain to them the difference, or the two brands here that we're talking about, silicone versus the other brand, which is, the names exactly. Plastisol.
Yeah. So when it comes to soft plastics, there's really three materials you could use. One is plastisol. That's probably what 95% of the soft plastics that are out there, that's the core material what they use. It's a great product, inexpensive. It's real quick and easy. You heat it up for a few minutes, and then within 15 minutes, you have a set of baits. You can mass produce those. That's why all major companies that are trying to be profitable or want to have other places make baits for them, they use plastisol product, because you could make a cavity that has 20 cavities, heat up one big batch of plastisol. You inject it in 15 minutes, you have 20 baits. So that is probably why, it's a great product. There's two there's two formulas. You have your regular formula and you have a saltwater mold, which is a little bit more stiffer. Um, so the problem with that is, like I said, with soft plastics, they're not as durable. They tear. Sometimes it's hard to keep on the jig head.
And this is why, this is why I brought it up. I wanted people to know there is a difference in plastics. Orlando just gave you the 3 types. I hope you understood that. It's perfectly good English. If there's a problem, we'll try to incorporate other italics on the bottom so you guys get to see in other languages what I'm saying. But it's true, though. It is true. It is true that what he's saying, there are 3 different types. Now, silicone, number one, that I know is probably the hardest to make a lure out of. And Orlando, please take over from there.
Yeah, the reason why silicone is not nothing new. I would say it's fairly new in the lure aspect of it because of the cost and the time to make a lure out of silicone. It's not, I guarantee companies like Berkeley and all that stuff have looked into making lures out of silicone. But when they brought in the numbers and all that stuff and the cost and the materials needed and how much production they could do on a daily basis, they probably said, no way, it's impossible. You're telling me it's a 12-hour cure time on that product for one? It's a 12-hour cure time when I could use plastisol and it cures in 15 minutes? No. Because they're all about making profit. That's all they care about, is making big profit. And then they look at the cost of the material and they're like, what? It's 4 times as much as plastisol? Like, why would they?
You guys are hearing that.
They're not in the business to make a product that's going to last for a good long time. They're in the business if you keep on buying the same product over and over and over and over. That's how they get people. They make a good product, and then that product tears, and guess what? You need to buy another one and another one and another one. That's how they keep it's customer retention. So when me and Wheeler started talking, I said, you know what? I don't care about the cost. I don't care about the. I just want to make the best product with the best material. Another product that's very good out there is Z-Man. He makes the Elastec. Very good product. That product lasts. It stretches. It's very cool stuff. The only downside to that product is you cannot store that product with other plastic baits because it'll melt them. Sometimes, and even elastic is very hard to keep on the hook sometimes. That stuff will slip off the jig head. There's pluses and minuses to all, but my biggest gripe is when I fish soft plastic, I have on my surf bag or whatever, I have a pouch full of soft plastic of different ones. I use Gravity, Zinger. I use everybody's out there. I love the stuff that they.
I love Zinger too, buddy.
Yeah, great product.
Definitely.
And Gravity, he makes good stuff too. So anyways, but if I were to include a elastic product in my pouch, it would melt all those plastics just because of the way that material is. It doesn't play well with others, with other plastics. Silicone, on the other hand, I can mix it with soft plastic. I can mix it with elastic, and it doesn't bond. It doesn't transfer colors. It doesn't do any of that. So that's where we were like, okay, that's a plus to using a silicone bait. So yeah, we started brainstorming, started testing all kinds of products, and we spent a very long time where I would test products. I learned so much, and I spent so much money too learning this stuff. But my wife was getting a little bit upset with me because I was like, I had to learn so much, and because there's not too many guys that make silicone baits, I had to actually learn from a whole different industry. I had to learn from guys that in the Hollywood industry that make those masks for like zombies and all that stuff. All that stuff they use is made out of silicone. So I had to learn a lot from those guys and ask them questions and try to adapt it to what I wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, I've been testing, and I still am testing all kinds of like new products and new designs. I'm really looking forward to next year because there's some new product that I'm gonna be buying and equipment to make the baits even better. Like I said, I'm always striving to make stuff better. So I'm excited about that. But so yeah, me and Wheeler got together, and so I took his design. He gave me like the core
Mm-hmm.
body of it. So all his lures that he makes, he doesn't do them on a CAD. He doesn't have a company like make them for him and or use their molds or stuff. He starts from a block of clay, and he builds it from scratch.
Just like they do automobiles, buddy.
He scopes it. I mean, the guy is a freaking genius. So
Yeah,
why would I
yeah.
not freaking team up with him?
Of course.
The guy, dude, I can't speak highly enough of him. He always surprises me. He's in awe. So when he made the first original bait, this is one that he made here. This is one of them. This is made out of plastisol. And we tested it under plastisol, but like I said, you're gonna have your issues where they're not as durable and whatnot. So that's why we decided to go with something that, no matter what the cost, we're gonna make something that's a badass product. So
I'd like to show that product if you want to bring it up slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So this is the original one out of plastisol.
Yes.
First of all, we had to figure out to make it swim. You don't always hit a home run. You can make a mold and think, okay, this looks good, and then you pour it, you make it, and it goes out and it doesn't swim at all. And you're just like, oh, okay, I need to switch that up.
Right.
So there's a lot of trial and error when it comes to that. Don't think that you're gonna hit it, and you may, I give it a try, guys. If you think you could, make something good, then give it a try. You'll soon realize it's not as easy. So, anyways, the second thing we wanted to do is we wanted to make a striper swim bait out there that had the profile of a lot of good bait fish like herring.
Herring, yeah.
You
hit that one in the nose, buddy.
Profile that had some weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of baits out there had no weight to it. We wanted something that we could fish in current. So yeah, there was a lot of freaking back and forth with me and Wheeler and designs and hook setups, and even the way the weight is put into the swim bait. I designed all that from scratch, trying different shapes and angles and ballast in different ways, because I'll show you guys now.
Yeah.
So this is the final product. This is the silly cat.
There it is. You want me to put that up, Orlando?
Has built into the body already.
Yes.
The hook is put into the body already, and here I'll show you guys right there. So
yeah, beauty.
Nice stout hook on here. It's a badass little freaking swim bait, man. And as you can tell here, not all paddle tails are the same. If you can see, it has a big fat knuckle right there. And that big knuckle there, it does two things for us. A lot of swim baits, when their paddle is too strong or too little, they don't hold well in current, or they don't put out a good pulse in current. So having that fat knuckle in the rear, it allowed the bait to stay down deep, but also put out a nice, good thump out there. Another second thing about having that fat knuckle in the back of this bait is it allows it to cast phenomenally well, because the weight, there's a big fat ball basically of it's like a weight transfer system.
Right. It's not if it's heavier, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
As long as it's heavy.
So we wanted something to cast well, holds good in current, and it's going to catch a lot of fish. Wheeler has the original one, and he lives in Massachusetts. So he fishes a really fishy area. On one swim bait, he had over 200 stripers on it. I think the biggest was probably like 42, 43 pounds. He has multiple 40s and a lot of 30s.
Oh, big. Orlando, I want to show everybody on my above camera. I want to show them this nice and clearly and what they're actually seeing when you show it on yours. Hon, you want to put that view over?
That one on the overhead
That's it.
camera?
So I'm going to pull this out, guys, here and show you. So obviously this is called the Silly Cat. And this does a nice job in imitating a herring, as you could see, beautifully. And guys, like he mentioned, the weight is not on the outside. There's no worried about tearing or coming out or using glues or using ties. This is the baby to have right here. Now, it's in there. It's inside. It's already in there. And I know, Orlando, you did all kinds of, we're not going to say, you know, ballerina steps with this. You put this through the grinder, bro, to make sure that this weight does not come out. So you'll probably never see that this weight inside is made of Cheerios. So, but it works, guys. At least I know that this weight right here stays on. And the hook, Orlando, can you talk a little bit about the hook you got on there? Because you talked about your buddy catching a 42, and they got to be good hooks. So talk to me about that.
It's a nice stout mustad hook on there. I wish I it's a 9.0 size hook, so it's not like a small hook. I wish I could have gone with like a more saltwater kind of approach, but the problem is they don't make one that's as big as that. So I had to match the profile of it. So, you know, that to me, that's probably the best hook. And I fish freshwater as well. So, you know, as long as I think you rinse out the bait, I don't think you'll have an issue. We haven't had any issues at all. So, so yeah, it's pretty damn freaking, you know, it'll handle some big fish, man. And that's what I wanted to create. I wanted to make a bait, didn't tear, didn't rip. I don't need zip ties. I don't need glue. I don't need to buy jig heads. I don't need to do any of that. I just freaking put it on my clip, make those casts, and hopefully I start connecting. You know,
and Orlando,
that's what I wanted to make.
And I want to talk about probably the last part about these baits. And we're talking about all plastics now. Now, look, guys, did you hear what I just said? This is soft plastic. Silicone. I'm going to tell you guys again, it's a soft plastic. It's silicone. Please don't go out there and say, I got a NORCALKAT Orlando made this. I'm going hunting for bluefish today. Come on. Don't do that. Don't throw this nice, beautiful lure at bluefish. Pretty much you're all fishermen here. We've gotten by the Guggen stage after yesterday's show. We're official fishermen now. We are official fishermen. But what I'm trying to say is that most of us, you know, pretty much all of us know not to throw, you know, a plastic at razors. You can't do that. So you know where the stripers are. You know when it's. There's a great season in the fall here up north. I don't see many bluefish being caught in the areas that I like to go fishing. So why not use it there? And I'm going to tell you a nice, beautiful lure going the extra steps. Look at these nice little glitters on there. This is going to attract a fish. And you know fall fishing is a daytime thing mostly. Even though they do get them in the night bite, this is sure a nice lure to use in the days. And you can definitely use this at night, especially if you're a full moon fisherman. Those glitters are going to look super juicy to that striper at night, definitely. But again, what he was talking about, the tail or the shad here on the end, this thing is big, guys. Look how it just dangles. It's heavy. Why? It's getting good action. This stuff is made to use in the heavier waters. What do I mean by that? It's made to use in the heavier waters. If you're fishing the ocean, it's a nice lure to yours. I'm not saying if you're not fishing in flat waters, it's not still a great lure to use. But the heavier set water, I can have Orlando talk more about that because that's where I was really interested in. And we all Northeast fishermen. So, Orlando?
So, yeah. So, like I said, that I would work in a rip, you know, something that, you know, typically you would throw where you would maybe throw a darter or something like that. Anytime you got current, just a slow, moderate retrieve or stop and go. I mean, but just a slow, steady retrieve, you know, it will do the job. You know, it's all about how you position yourself and the angle that you're casting as well. I mean, I'm not here to teach you guys how to fish your area, but, you know, just practice, you know, try different things. You're not going to learn if you don't try different things. Like I said, if there's bluefish around, then I wouldn't use it. Just don't. There's plenty of use the cheaper ones. Use the ones that are freaking $1, $2. You must use a freaking soft plastic, you know what I mean? Like be selective. The whole reason we built these is to be durable for big stripers, not for big bluefish or that stuff. So we wanted to make a soft plastic, like lure that would be durable for big stripers. If you know that there's blues around, don't throw them. But I don't just make lures for East Coast guys. I got guys that are fishing these in Tennessee.
Yep.
I got a guy in Ohio catching big walleye with
Wow.
this silly cat. And he's like, dude, I love it because these big walleye, they hold in this freaking current and this strong current, and that thing just holds the bottom, man. And I just freaking keep it steady, keep the tension, and freaking, he's been hammering big walleye with it. And the guy loves it. He's ordered quite a few for me. You know what I mean? So, I got guys in Texas that use them. I got guys in Nevada and of course California. So, you just have to make that right decision. Lures are just different tools. This has the right profile for a lot of bait fish. It's heavy, because there's a lot of like slimmer profile stuff, but they're light. They're like 1 ounce, ounce and a half. They just don't have that mass. This thing's almost 3 ounces. So
Orlando, someone's asking.
You just have to make that decision to,
Yeah.
of when to use it and how to use it. And it takes practice. And the swim bait thing is not new to me, but to a lot of other guys, it is. They look at a swim bait and they think they're all the same. They're not.
They're
The
not.
paddle, the tail, the size of the tail, the shape, all that stuff. We dissect it out here in California a lot more in detail, and they do different things, and we realize that. And Wheeler fully understands that because he's a big swim bait passionate guy as well.
Orlando?
So,
Orlando, my wife is, say the name.
We have David Matthews, a member, asking, what does it do when you stop? Sink or float to the top?
it's going to sink.
Yeah, it's going to sink, and that's what
It's
Wheeler.
It's going to trickle.
Yes.
It'll trickle down when you stop. It's not going to float.
And the truth is in the pudding, as Mr. Wheeler Lures himself answered. It's a sinking lure, and the tail throbs on the drop. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. Because the material itself, silicone, is not a buoyant material. So we had to learn that and use that as a tool to be part of the ballast. Is the actual material itself is not a floating material. It's actually a sinking material. So when we were making the lead for this lure, we had to incorporate that knowledge behind that too when we're designing, the lead that's going to go into the swim bait. Is how much heavy the silicone product is and the weight it's going to bring and the attributes behind it. So yeah.
I got some questions for you coming in. Churchwood, are they sold individually or as a bulk?
Individually, because I make them when I decide to make a batch. It just takes a long time. I make one at a time. Like the molds are 1-piece mold, are 2-piece molds, but they're only at a time, and there's a long cure time behind that. So it's not a product that I could make like 50 of them in one night. They're impossible. I'm lucky if I could get maybe like 8, 9 done in a full day's work. It's a long process, and it's that's just what it is. And I don't care about that, because when we decided to do this, we didn't care about what the cost is or the time or any of that stuff. We wanted to make a good swim bait for stripers that was durable, that would handle multiple big fish, that wouldn't tear. So that was our goal. We didn't care about everything else behind that. What we wanted to do is to perform and to catch and to hold big fish.
Right.
And we've done that with this.
This is basically a striper lure you're working on. I know that other guys in other states catch them on other things, and God bless them. I hope everybody catches everything on these things. But I know what you're talking about, Orlando. I knew that and I'm gonna go a little beyond here. I'm sorry if this infects anybody's ears, but the bullshit and the shit that comes through the internet, and that people don't understand that you don't just, pour a lure. It doesn't work like that. There's so much more work that goes into it. When he says mad works, he says it for a reason. When he says mad scientist, he says it for a reason. You don't just come up with a lure like this. You know, when I saw it, I was like, dude, I never seen anything with such a fat tail here at the shoulder. It just starts to get so thick here. Right, Orlando? This is a big sucker right here. And like you said, on the drop, this thing is going to be doing its shake. So even on the drop, it's great. You're heading down deep. That's where they are. That tail gives the rumble in the water. And the next thing you know, you're like, you know what? Maybe I should order another one of these. That's right. Wake up. Smell the coffee. And when I say that, I'm not telling you to order lures from Orlando. Just understand the work that goes into these things. And when you really understand that, you got to give those guys a little bit of respect. My wife is pointing to Bronx Surfcaster, and it says, needs to be bigger, 17 plus inches. Okay, let me explain that, Orlando. They're not talking about my love life, definitely not. But I'm going to tell you this. I will tell you this, Orlando. We have Beast River Fishing. He's been looking for somebody to make lures that big. And I'm telling you, Orlando, these guys take lures that are 10 inches long, 8 inches long. They cut them in half. They glue them together. And when you look at them, you know, the first time he showed me, he goes, look what I catch with my stripe. I'm like, oh, my God. This guy doesn't know anything about fishing. What is this? It looks so, it looked like an E.T. lure from the aliens. But do you know that's what they fish with down here? 16, 18-inch lures that they put together, and they're catching monsters. Elliot, I'm telling you, Elliot Beast River Fishing, I salute you. He got 350s last week. So that's why when I tell you, are you making any 17 inches? But get ready to pay. We're talking 17 inches here. Come on.
No.
Go ahead, Orlando.
Like this one's 7.5 inches, but I am working for myself, and maybe down the road, we're working on something. We're working on a big, close to 10-inch swim bait.
Okay, cool.
Big profile, big tail, big thumper. Because I have a lot of rainbow trout in my rivers that stripers feed on. And that's like the perfect size, and that's what I'm trying to mimic is rainbow trout. And that's we're already working on it. But yeah,
they're
big
asking,
stripers, they eat big bait, man. That's my biggest striper that I ever caught on the West Coast was on my 12-inch swim bait.
James Flynn
swim bait. It's 12. That's a 12-inch lure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Definitely.
So if you ever held a big striper and see how big their mouth and how big their gut is, them eating a 15-inch fish is like nothing, dude. I've seen big stripers eat largemouth bass. I had a friend, he caught a largemouth bass, he was bringing it to shore, and this freaking striper just came and freaking took it away from him. And that largemouth bass had to be like 14, 15 inches, and took it away like nothing. You know, they eat big foods, man. So
they do.
The problem is there's a balance on how big you can go, because it's how strong your shoulder is. Because a bait that big is gonna weigh 10 ounces, 11 ounces, 12 ounces if done right. You know, if you want it to have the right ballast and the right swim and all the attributes, it's not gonna be a light bait. And you have to have the right gear for that. I have swim bait rods that I could throw up to 16 ounces. You know, but it's not something that I want to throw all day. I have to pick my moments of when I want to use something like that, you know? So, but yeah, it's definitely a tool. It's definitely, if I know that there's a big fish around and they're feeding on big bait, damn well I'm going to be presenting big bait to them.
Luke, I just want to say, this is Luke Chesnek. Honey, do you have that picture of Luke? You don't have it. It was.
No, I'll get it.
Yeah, well, get it. I want you guys to see. Luke scored a nice fish this weekend, or this week in Jersey. Luke, I just want to say, he says they were spitting up like 5 to 6 peanuts. They were 6 inches each. They would choke on bunker if they can eat it. There you go, Orlando, right there for you, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll get that picture up. Orlando, you go ahead and tell the story.
Yeah.
Continue. I love it.
Talk about peanuts. Let's skip into my next bait that me and Wheeler collabed on. Is this little guy right here. The silly shad.
There you
Oh,
go,
the
And
baby.
they're on
silly
peanuts,
shad.
buddy. This is gonna be money. It's already.
Yep.
Look at Wheeler fishes this bait. He made this originally out of plastisol, and it didn't have all the details and all the he you know he basically used a weedless hook on his setup and whatnot. But man, he caught so many fish on it. So I took his design and put some little bit more details into it, and I of course made it out of silicone. I made its own ballast out of it. I incorporated its own hook. This
Explain,
little guy, man.
explain the skinniness in this, because that's what I asked
Dude,
you.
look at.
Tell me.
I don't know if
I'm-
it'll capture, but
I'm
that
showing
is
it.
a
I'm
skinny
showing it to
flat
them
bait.
I'm showing them to them on my overhead. It's very clear right now.
Oh.
Oh, good.
Very
So they
clear.
can see that flat surface. That thing has a nice rear S swim because of that. A lot of swim baits have that like tubular body to it. This doesn't have that. This has it's like it got smashed by a steamroller.
You
but
have that video, honey?
man, freaking, that thing freaking. It's such a beautiful swim. Wheeler, thank you to bringing that out for all of us, man.
I'm going to show
I just
that
took
video.
that he made, and I just modified it to how I would want to put it together and make it. So, yeah, that thing is freaking. It's money, dude. That nice stout hook on that. So we're gonna have two models on that one. We're gonna have one that's 2.2 ounces. Very good to fish in shallow areas. Stop and go, slow retrieve, moderate retrieve, fast retrieve, whatever. You can mix it up. And then we're gonna have a heavier model. So if you want to fish that same profile in heavy current or a nice rip or something, it's gonna be 2.55 ounces, and that one's gonna hold in heavier current a lot more better too. So we're gonna have two models. So the lighter one is gonna have the small pupil on the eye, and the heavier model will have the big pupil. I don't have one in front of me with the big. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll show you guys. So this is one of my needlefish. That's the big pupil. You can see there that big pupil on there. So the heavier model, I'll have the big pupil on there, and then the lighter model will have the smaller pupil on there.
I'm going to show them how the lure works in the water. You want to put that up, honey?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Hold on, Orlando. We're getting it up. Yeah. Take your time. All right, so go ahead. You could keep talking, Orlando.
So yeah, I mean, this with peanut bunker around, or any.
Oops. Hold on. Oh God.
Oh no, I think we.
For the lighter model and 2.55 ouncer for the heavier model. I'm gonna work this week and see if I can make some I'm gonna have a Black Friday sale on Instagram, and I'm gonna put some up on there. So that's my goal this week, to get some made. I don't think I can make a lot, but I'll try my best, because I have other lures. I still need to wire some plugs. So yeah, I'm gonna be having this Friday, I think after 12, which would be my time, but 3 o'clock Eastern, I'm gonna start a fire sale, and I'll have some on there. I'll have both models. I'll have the all three models actually. I'll have the silly cat, the silly shad, and the light model and the heavy model.
Nice. I'm just showing them.
And then I'm gonna have some slicers.
Yep.
I'm gonna have some pencil poppers, spooks. I'm trying to make just a quick little batch of stuff. I'll try my best, you know what I mean? But no doubt. So.
Yeah, we're just showing them that video. You could take it off now, honey. After 100 times, they know what it works like. But anyway, yeah, had it up. I was showing everybody that. But nice piece of tackle to have in your box. I know you like these in the Back Bay areas, calmer water. Again, you can try. Yeah. Heavy current.
When I fish with Wheeler, he fishes in the most gnarliest currents that I would never in my mind even want to attempt on my own. But the guy freaking, oh man, he's a fucking genius, dude.
Yeah,
he knows how these fish like to freaking sit on these currents. And we've caught some amazing fish. Another nice thing about the silicone baits, it's nice for the freaking builder. And I'm gonna explain to you this. When you're heating up plastisol, because normally you heat it up in the microwave for a minute or two.
Sure.
It's releasing all this smoke and chemicals. And if you're making baits out of plastisol and you're not wearing a mask, You're doing some severe damage to your health, man. I could tell you
Yeah.
that, because those fumes are freaking, they're very toxic. They're not good for you.
Right.
So, with silicone, I don't have to deal with that. I don't deal with that. Silicone's food safe product. A lot of stuff is like silicone primarily is made to make like spoons for food and all that stuff, because it's food safe and it doesn't emit chemicals. It doesn't do any of that stuff. So as a builder who's already exposed to wood, all kinds of different chemicals, clear paint, all that stuff, I'm trying to lower how much chemicals I'm exposing myself to.
Yeah.
I have the most expensive mask when it comes to freaking wearing the proper gear and all that stuff, because I value my health. I want to be around for my family as long as I can, and if you're a builder, or you'd like to make soft plastics or whatever, if you're not investing in yourself and having the proper gear to protect your lungs and what you breathe in, your skin and all that stuff, you're doing yourself a disservice. That's going to affect you in the long run.
Yeah.
No doubt. We have the same, we have a lot of safety regulations at work that I'm on. And I know, I work with fans, giant fans, and that's just part of my job. And those fans are there to get all the bad air out and get fresh air in for the tenants. And I know some of the telling you whether your filters are clean or not. I'm trying to say it in an easy way so everybody can understand it. You have one of those gauges that I have exactly on my fans. You spend money on your gear to do the right job. And, of course, health-wise, which is very important. You know when the fans are down low, or the filters are down low or not cleaning the air anymore, so you can change them, which is very, very important, Orlando, in your
another
business.
thing, like when we heat up plastisol, you know what's the temperature of that product? 250 degrees to 300.
And what about silicone?
It's room temperature.
Wow.
It's room temperature.
That's right.
That's why
I've used
it's a long
silicone.
cure
That's
time.
right.
You know what I mean? But the guys who are playing with plastisol, there's so many times I see guys where they spill that plastic on their skin and they end up blistering up, getting themselves back severe burns.
I have to say, I do know somebody, and you know him too, but let's not talk about names. Let's talk about damage. It's very, very bad, guys. You spill it on your skin, there will be a mark there reminding you that you've done a very good job on your making of plastics, or at least I want to say it like that. But it's dangerous. It's definitely dangerous.
It's super dangerous. And that's what I just want to kind of limit my exposure to that type of stuff. And like I said, we wanted to create something different. So that's why we did all the research, and we're going to get better, man.
Right.
I have to spend quite a bit of money. I figured a way out to actually being able to paint silicone. And that's the next step. My paint jobs on silicone, man.
Nice.
But it's expensive because you have to have the same gear that these guys in Hollywood use.
Wow.
You know, that they're painting these masks for movie sets and all that stuff.
Sure.
That stuff is not cheap. You need a lot of material, a lot of different freaking guns, and it's not cheap, dude. So I'm saving my money.
It just doesn't end for you, brother.
You know what I mean?
Scientist
that is
always
the goal for 2024, is that
right.
hopefully I'll be able to buy that equipment and I can start doing paint jobs on these.
Wow.
So not only for now we're just doing the glitter bodies, right?
Right.
But down the road, we're going to be able to paint these glitter bodies and add details and all that stuff. And that's where we're going to take it to the next level. We're always improving.
That's it,
and that's where I'm at. That's where my focus is at, is always improving, making things better, on how I could evolve and just learn and learn and learn. And that's what we're about, man. You know, I love making plugs for you guys and lures and all that stuff, but I spend a lot of time trying to make it better.
Absolutely. Wheeler Lures is saying the same thing. He says, silicone hardens at room temperature. A huge motivation for us was to avoid all the dangers of plastics, like he was saying. Not only the fumes, the heat, you mess up, and it happens to everyone. Yes, it does. No one is perfect out there. But without a doubt. Also, I want to say Outcast One. When I was young, I would scrap and send bottom of paint off boats for extra money. Ended up getting bladder cancer in my early 40s. I'm sorry to hear that, Outcast.
And that's the thing. It's exposure to chemicals. And if you don't think that you're exposing yourself making these lures, and you don't have the proper gear, I'm not going to name drop anybody, right? But I've seen guys where they're turning wood with no mask, no ventilation,
that's
no
no good.
dust collection, none of that stuff, dude.
Wood is a killer, guys. I'm telling you right now.
All that, breathing that stuff in your lungs, man. It's like, dude, you could get that could be bad for you down the road.
Yes, it can.
You
it
know?
can.
Yeah.
So I spend the money where it matters for me is my health.
That's
There's
right.
two things that are important in life, right?
Say it.
Health. Your health is important, and time.
Goodness
I take care of my health as best as possible, and I value my time.
Yeah,
That's
time.
the two most important things in life, because you have limited health and you have limited time. So I don't waste time with negativity or wasting my time. If I'm not trying to learn or get better, that's where I spend my time. I'm trying to freaking value my time. I don't like wasting time listening to negativity or even entertaining it. No, I'm not part of that, dude. You know, I don't think anybody else should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Value your time, man. Why are you going to waste time entertaining stuff or people, responding to how people talk about you or stuff? Let them freaking be miserable. You go and you find out how to be a good person, because good karma will always come to you. You be a good person, it will come to you tenfold.
Amen, baby. And it's very well said right there. Don't waste your energy, man. That energy kills that you're wasting. Spend your energy in bed with your wife or your girlfriend. Then it's worth it. Trust me. All right, when it's all said
I want to be responding on the internet to all the negative comments and stuff?
That's right.
No, I'd rather go take my daughter fishing and having a good time.
Thank you, Orlando.
I'm not gonna waste my time with that. Come on, get out of here.
No. You're right, Orlando. Guys, like I've always said, when I like something a lot and even a little bit, I love to talk about it. I love to talk about quality stuff. The man's always made quality stuff. Please make your own judgment. Don't judge before you try anything. And don't go blue fishing with a freaking plastic, all right? Don't do that.
I mean,
don't.
hey, if they're on soft plastics and, if there's bluefish around and that's the only way you could catch blues, use other people's baits.
Orlando, I'm going to be
a little bit more cheaper.
Orlando,
Orlando? Hopefully they work and it's the right tool. You know what I mean?
Orlando, I am not going to.
I support guys like Zinger. They make an affordable soft plastic. If that's what you want to do, Zinger's great. Gravity is great. One guy was making a negative comment and he's like, "Oh, no thanks. I'll just use Gravity lures." And my man Gravity went in there and he responded and he said, "You know what, dude? I appreciate the support, but silicone is a whole different animal. I tried getting into that, and I fully understand where Orlando's coming from, because I tried playing with that, and it's a whole different animal. You cannot treat it like I do with plastisol.
That's right.
You can't produce in silicone what I could do in plastisol. So props to Gabe, man. That dude's the man.
Come on, guys.
I appreciate a lot from him coming forward and saying that. You know what I mean? So I use his lures. I use Zinger's lures. You just gotta pick the right tools for the right time. That's all it is. And I'm trying to make the right tool for the right time on a silicone bait, dude. You know what I mean? So
we've all dealt with silicone at one time or another. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going back to the bedroom again.
Oh my
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My wife is looking at me like, stop. They're going to think I'm like, all right, take it easy.
I don't know what people think.
Orlando, we talked a lot tonight. There's always, with you, I can go on all night. We'll be here till 5 o'clock in the morning. And people do the giveaway already. Now, just to let you guys know, the giveaway, we are not allowed to do giveaways with just members. We finally got our no back. Go ahead, honey. You explain that.
YouTube doesn't allow you to limit that you give something away, like a lottery or a sweepstakes or giveaways to your members only. So we can't exclude you just because you're not a member. So, we do the
what does it mean to all the cheap bastards who didn't join? You're still eligible for the giveaways. All right?
You're still eligible.
I love all you guys. I appreciate everything. I got a lot of new members tonight. We've opened up
Dude, that is awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
I thank you so much,
man.
yeah.
They're consistent, man.
Yeah. And we got,
Thank you.
For tonight, I want to show everybody what we got. Please stand down, Orlando. You want to grab that shirt over there?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a couple of things. I'll start off also. I got a couple of things from the show yesterday. There was so many good plug builders there. But I got a company here called Manhattan Tackle. That was my buddy Jason delivered it over from this company, Manhattan Tackle. And I also bought, for a very special night, where's my lure, honey, the white one? I don't want to say it. Where's my, is it in the other room on the counter? Just grab it if it's there. So let's show off this Manhattan lure right now. No, you guys are not getting an Orlando lure. I've given plenty of those away. Go buy your own. Just order one from him. You just got the deal. They made a silicone. Stop complaining. All right, so let's do the overhead. Okay, so this is tonight's giveaways. We got a Manhattan Tackle. Beautiful little lure here. Let's go, let's go. This is an American company, it looks like. It says Made in America. I love this. I didn't know these guys. I know them now. So it says 6 1/8 inches floating reinforced resin with flat angled lip with front belly weights, swim below the surface up to 15 to 20 inches deep with realistic action. Welcome to Manhattan Tackle. I'm Richard, the owner and creator of these reliable swimming and plug lures. A fourth-generation fisherman, I've been fishing with the bays and the inlets of the 5 boroughs and Long Island for nearly 50 years. In that time, I've learned that a true fisherman knows what works. And Manhattan Tackle is devoted to making long-lasting and durable lures, manufactured with high quality reinforced resins and wood materials, sealed prime with a solid high gloss finish. Old school meets new school. See you in the suds, my friends. Manhattan Tackle. Thank you very much for this. This is good stuff. And also we're going to do, you guys know, spoof. I was fishing with Laura Walker and Joe Bejavenka out in Long Island one night, and it was making echoing sounds, and they were yelling, yo, you got a spook, and you would hear spook, spook, spook. And I started going spoof, and we was going spoof, spoof, spoof. That's how it started. The spoof crew was resurrected that night, let's say. But anyway, you got a hoagie here. This is a beautiful spoof right here. Hoagies are a lot of people's favorites. I think this one cost $750 with the way things are going. But anyway, no, I'm not telling you how much it costs. I'm kidding. I'm trying to see the weight on this. So this is a Charter Grade slider, 4-ounce glow offshore, it says. Okay, very good. It says hooks inside, VMC. All right, so this is the giveaway. And, honey, you want to give me that shirt? Well, calling it a shirt because it's a surprise. Yeah. Give me that. Atta girl. That's the one. So you guys are going to get a nice little, we were selling these.
Wait, you got to put yourself on camera here.
Okay, sorry. So we were selling these. Orlando's there too. We were selling these at the show yesterday. That was the Montauk Surfcast Association show. That's the back of it. It's a hoodie. It's a heavy-duty hoodie. I can't even lift it. It's so heavy. But anyway, it says here in the front, Montauk, New York. And you got the spoof crew in the back. And I can use this as a blanket right now. But I'm wearing Orlando's tonight. And Orlando, you are all right? I'm heating up, brother. I'm almost dead. But anyway, you get that tonight and these two. This is a great giveaway. You're looking at about $150 right here total. And if you don't believe me, go yourself. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to do it off last week's, what is it?
The video from last week.
Yeah,
that
the video
was
from last week.
November 12 live stream.
And
the
we'll
one
get
we
back
were
to you,
on with
Orlando.
Bill Jacob.
Yeah, so when you get that up. So, Orlando, I want to finish this off with you. Again, we're going to have you on the show again, Orlando, before the winter's up. You're too good of a knowledgeable person to just pass you up. And I love the way you explain things. How, like I said it earlier, you're knowledge, you're talented. You are the Mad Law Works guy. Don't forget that. It's right here. I'm showing you in the present right here. NORCALKAT Mad Law Works. Tell me, Orlando, anything else you want to finish off? Say anything to anybody? Anything?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Hold on, Orlando. We'll get you back.
Hold on.
And that's not it.
Where are we?
I'll get him. Go ahead, Orlando.
There you go.
No, I just thank you for your time, and I could explain basically everything that's behind the scenes of how we got into making these baits and where we're going. We're going to be making more stuff. We got squids in the making, bigger baits, some weedless baits. There's a lot in the works already. We're just constantly, like I said, me and Wheeler are constantly working stuff. And even on my own line, I'm working on these needles here. These are a phenomenal needle here that I'll be putting out here pretty soon. I got some other product that I'm working on. It's constantly, like I said, evolving and testing stuff, man, and making things better, man. And all my full line of lures, they're all getting basically improved. So I'm excited for that coming into the new year.
Yeah, I know, Orlando. I know you're going to work hard until December evening, and then it's party time with the family for Christmas. I don't know what else to say, Orlando. I thank you so much. You always come through for me, dude, whether it's asking you questions or just coming on my show. You never say no to me. You're always a good guy, and I know you love to share your knowledge with other surf fishermen. If there's anybody that wants to throw a last minute comment question, please do. Orlando's going to leave, and you're not going to see him for another 2 days, and it's a long time for me. But anybody else, any good stuff? All right, so let's do that giveaway right now. We're going to spin it off.
BX Surfcaster says, Orlando, what happened to the weight basket?
Oh, so I was working with Z-Belts, Luke from Z-Belts. We were working on a material. So he did one, it's kind of like Kevlar. He made one. It's to weigh, basically use your boga to weigh your fish, and it kind of cradles the fish. We're working on a different material. Luke's been slammed, so I just tell him, hey, get at it when you can. We're working on a more material that it could be foldable and also won't hold water. It's basically like a mesh. So that's in the works still. It has not been forgotten. It's just that it's a side project for Luke. I got him involved in that. Basically he gives me updates here and there. So yeah, that's still being worked on, guys. So, but nice. I wanted it something to be friendly because the Kevlar one was kind of too bulky and it was hard to fold up, and it's just not something that I would want to carry on. I use it on my boat all the time, but not for somebody who's fishing from shore.
Yeah,
it's not ideal.
Bronx Surfcaster says we're waiting for that. Keep us posted. So in the future,
I will.
You keep us posted. I know you're a big activist as far as keeping the fish alive, buddy. Definitely keeping the fish alive, guys. I thank everybody again. I thank everybody who joined. I'm very proud of what I accomplished as far as, and it's not over. When I say accomplished, I'm talking about you guys, the community, bringing you together. Me and my wife never having kids, and I don't want to hear anything about helping me because I'll kick your butt. But anyway, not having kids. And I feel that you guys are my kids in a way. I feel that I've been blessed from God. I know so many of you now, and I haven't met any negative person, except one, but any negative person out there. No. You guys have all given me love. I'm so happy. I will continue my challenges. We'll see this year with Piermont in April, but definitely the challenge that we do yearly. Hopefully Orlando will be able to make it. He was busy this year, and we're talking different kind of busy, the Hawaii type busy. And I know he was having a great time. I watched all those posts on the boat. You wouldn't have seen a happier guy. But again, Orlando.
I think, was this
go ahead.
Photo here I think we had? Was this from Hawaii?
Yes, it was. Put that up. I want them to see this.
Really funny, this photo.
This looks almost like, what do they call those with the P?
Piranha?
No.
No, that's a bluefin
Pompano.
trevally.
Ah, there you
Oh,
go. There it
that
is,
one.
guys.
It's a
Check them
bluefin
out.
trevally, and I think the world record is like 22 pounds in Hawaii
Yeah,
on that,
yeah.
and that one was 18 pounds. Just so you know.
Woo!
So yeah,
That was beauty.
exciting to catch one of that size.
Nice.
We were aiming to get
You're
GT,
funny.
which is giant trevally, and those guys get like 100 pounds. I had one about 50 or 60 pounds come and swipe my popper, but I just couldn't. He didn't commit. So yeah, I didn't want to spend all day fishing. I only fish half a day with my guide Chris, Aloha Fishing. If you go to Hawaii, Oahu, and you want to fish with somebody good, Chris is the man. The guy makes it fun. I was laughing and having a good time the whole time,
I
man. The
saw
guy's
it.
funny.
That's
Nice.
all the
the
posts
guy
were
is a
laughing.
freaking blast to fish with, man. He's
Good
such
to
a good
know.
dude.
Good to
So I
know.
highly recommend if
Nice.
you can fish a full day or half a day, just
Yeah,
hit him up. Aloha Fishing. If you're ever gonna
Wonderful.
go to Oahu and you get a chance to catch a GT, that is like one of my goals is to land a freaking 50-pound GT. They are the strongest and fastest fish in the sea.
Nice.
You know,
Beauty.
and so they're the pit bulls of the ocean.
Nice.
So yeah, it's such. I can't wait to go next year to Hawaii and try to get a nice big GT, man. I'm stoked for that.
And don't forget, guys, we, the surf fishermen, are the bulls of the ocean. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We just keep pushing, baby. We don't stop. Orlando, thank you very much again. Don't
Thanks,
leave.
Orlando.
We'll say
Hang
one
out.
final goodbye.
Hang out.
Let's do that spin right now, honey.
All
Here we
right.
go. If you got a comment in last week's chat or last week's show,
Live stream.
you'll be in the spin. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Spin it up.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, winner, Rick Hernandez.
What?
Rick Hernandez, the big Miami Dolphin fan. Congratulations on Miami win today. If you're out there, you got 10 seconds. Danny D. Morales, what's up? All right, here we go.
Hey.
There he is. I couldn't even get the first count in. Rick Hernandez, you win that prize. The Manhattan tackle and hoagie there for you. A spoof right there for you, buddy. And you win the spoof hoodie that you bought from me yesterday, you bastard. You win another one. So when that one gets smelly, you can keep wearing them 7 days a week and consistently wash them and wear them forever. But thank you so much. Guys, you are the best. We love you. I mean, we really do. I look
Thanks,
forward to this
everybody.
weekly. Thank you for joining my chat. I'm going to let you guys know, if I get to, how many members do I need? 30, right?
At least 30.
If I get 30 members in 30 days, those bastards, oh no, let me keep that down. They'll give me a yellow flag. Those good
Yellow
people, those great people, YouTube, who take 30% of my earnings, you heard right, guys. I love you, YouTube. They said I become a partner. I'm a partner now. You got to pay up. That's how it works when the big boss is around. So basically, I need 30 members. If I get 30 members,
kind of bonus.
YouTube pays us a bonus of $500. So that's what it is. I'll probably retire after I get that $500. But you guys know, guys. So enjoy.
Thank you,
I will see
everybody.
you guys next week. Thank you again so much. It means so much to me to see everybody here giving me $3 a month. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because a lot of channels are at $1.99. So I'm doing something good here. I won't stop doing it. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. Back to NorCalKat. Thank you so much, Orlando.
Thanks,
I love you,
Orlando.
brother,
Thank
for
you,
what you do.
guys.
Keep getting those
Just
out
remember,
there.
guys, good vibes and do good things, be a
That's
good person,
right.
man. That's all I'm saying, man.
And
Have
use-
a good time and enjoy our passion. Go out and fish and have a good time, man.
And make sure you use his plastics when you're fishing for bluefish. Don't forget that, all right?
All right.
Guys, I love you. Thank you,
Good
Orlando.
night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks,
See
Orlando.
you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Orlando. Hey, if I didn't mention, I never mentioned money on my side. But anyway, if you want one of those hoodies, we also make them in shirts. please get in touch with me through Instagram or an email, and we'll send you one right over. $60 for the hoodies, and how much are the shirts? We don't know. We'll let you know soon. How much are they? And I think they're $35, okay? See you guys later. And you can get hats and all that good stuff. Just ask. I'll have the price. This isn't a fishing store. This is a live stream week. Mr. Poseidon.